Umbar is back battling the elves once again here in Dawnless days. We have a glorious 4v4 battle for you today, as we have a Umbar host here surrounding the elves slowly. The elves have decided to bunker down really, and they've got a bit of high ground here for their archers, and they are preparing to form a fortress here, as we have both Linden and also Imladris here in today's battle. There is nearly 10,000 Umbarians here. I don't know if you really call them Umbarians, but that's what I'm going to call them now. And we have nearly 5,000 elves, so a pretty large disadvantage here for the elves. But they are Noldorian troops. They are no rabble compared to these Corsairs. They are the elites. They are the finest warriors in all of Middle-earth, and they will be putting up a grand fight. As you can already see, these Noldorian archers here are trying to rout these Baelic bowmen. I'm going to see a charge coming out from the cavalry here as they come flying into these Baelic bowmen. And oh boy, what a charge. That is a nice start to the battle there for the elves. Getting a nice charge there, cutting these guys down. Beautiful, really is. And there you go. A very, very nice charge there, routing and getting rid of a lot of archers very, very quickly. I don't know if anyone really has brought any decent archers, really. I mean, Umbar's archers aren't anything near as good as the elves, so it's going to be hard to match them. The Corsairs here are setting up. They're slightly better than the Baelic ones. We've got Blackhaven marksmen over here, so they're even better. And a lot of those are brought up as well. Umbar Usurpers also being pushed forward here, as you can see, trying to close that ground. We've got lots of polearms. We've got Arthraz and Asgar units as well getting ready. So they're getting up all their reserves ready for an assault, it seems, on this point here. It looks like, I mean, the Noldorian spears. There's a lot of spears set up here, so it seems like the elves were planning to box up anyway. Yeah, they decided to bring a lot of spear units, I guess, instead of the shock, which they thought would be quite vulnerable to archers. But it's not like Umbar's archers are insanely OP. We got a Scorpion over here also firing. That looks like he's focusing down the pikemen back here, and also these guards of Imladris, which is a pretty nasty stack up of units here. Yeah, I mean, you can already hear the Scorpion bolt comes flying in. You can see it's sort of like missing at the moment. Yeah, it's a pretty nasty double stack going on there. But yes, it's great to be back in Middle-earth once again, and I know you guys do enjoy the Dawnless Days content. It really is a great, great mod. Definitely worth getting if you haven't already got. It's an amazing mod that really does take you into Middle-earth from Attila Total War. But yeah, if you want to see more Lord of the Rings battles, then do remember to leave a like, subscribe if you're new around here, and a comment to show your support. It really does help out the channel. And yes, let me know in the comments who you're rooting for. Are you rooting for Team Elves, or are you rooting for Team Umbar? You may be thinking, how the heck do you get Umbar in Dawnless Days? And that's a good question. So they come in with a sub-mod called Last Breath. I'll also leave the link for that in the description, along with the main mod. And yeah, it's a really great mod, sub-mod that adds Umbar clearly, Iron Hills, Dorwinian, and also, I'm trying to remember what the fourth one is. I can't remember what the fourth one is. Iron Hills, Dorwinian, Umbar, and I can't remember. What was the other one? I swear I knew it off the top of my head, but there is 4 factions added, and why I can't remember what the fourth one is. I might have even said it and just totally forgot. But these boys setting up here, getting ready to go in. I've focused on a lot of these archers, actually. These Noldorian archers have been butchered, actually. I've used a lot of ammo themselves, though. The problem is there's another line of Noldorian archers back here as well anyway, so it doesn't really matter too much. Cavalry-wise, Umbar isn't exactly a strong cavalry faction. Has to rely on Haradrim auxiliaries over here. Khan, that's the other faction. Why couldn't I remember it? The Khan is the other faction that you get in the Last Breath sub-mod. But yeah, Umbar here has to rely on Haradrim auxiliaries. They're the only cav unit. They probably will be outclassed by Noldorian equestrians, but the elves don't know they brought much in the way of cav, so maybe they can out-cav them. So it's a bit of a maybe. It's still about 3 or 4 cavalry units I can see for the elves. So it's not exactly like they brought none, just not brought as much. Noldorian pikes are retreating, as you can see here. These Scorpion over on this side here, nearly out of ammo. It's the only unique artillery that there is for, like, well, for any faction, bar I guess Gondor's trebuchet, but that's kind of been capped now. You can't really bring that unless you're defending in a siege, because it's that OP. But yeah, Umbar Scorpion, really, really nasty unit, can do a lot of damage. Looks like it's sniping pike units back here. Could also snipe the cav, and that wouldn't be a bad idea either. And I'm seeing, is that an artillery piece? Yeah, I think we've got an onager over here as well. Okay, so onager also unveiling itself to the enemy and is focusing down, looks like, a shipwright noble unit here. That's a pretty good target to go for, but also kind of, I guess, is kind of general sniping. They need to be careful about that one. I'd maybe, again, I'd go for cavalry or I'd go for pikes. And we've got a spear line over here, now engaging with Umbar usurpers. I imagine that they should beat these swords back. They are really good, are the elven spears. But we'll see. Gold versus silver as well. All I'm saying, which one's better? Up on this side over here, I think that the Elves are also throwing in some shock infantry. So this definitely is a front that Umbar has not got a chance of winning, at least on this wave. If they go with wave tactics, they might have a chance. Yeah, you can see that the Noldorian swords were winning the fight pretty decisively. And then they fell back. One of the things that Umbar does have, which is pretty nasty as well, is shock infantry. And their Numenoreans are one of the finest in the business at shock infantry. These are black Numenoreans. These guys are head to toe in steel armor, and oh my, do they look sexy with their big long swords. They are one of my favorite looking units. They're getting shot at already. Need to be careful bringing these guys so close to the front lines. And there's a serious amount of blobbing going on over here actually. Numenoreans and Umbar usurpers really blobbing up here against the Elves. I don't know how good an idea this was to blob this significantly. They're really trying to force a way through. I mean, the Numenoreans should be able to get through these spear lines, that's for sure. Like the Numenoreans, well, shock infantry generally just excels against spears, and you can see that, yeah, the Numenoreans beating them back. Cav fights look like nothing really happened out there, way out there, so it seems like both sides decided just to sit and watch each other. Don't know what the onager's firing at. It really is very inaccurate. If you're shooting at the Noldorian sword, I pity it because it's doing a terrible job. Imladris on this side looks like he's sending his archers into combat since they're out of ammo. And also sending in guards of Imladris, which are the elite sword unit. And here we go, pikes coming forward. Followed up by shock. And they're going to countercharge the Umbar usurpers here. And that is, if anything, going to be a disadvantage here for the Umbar usurpers. So really nicely done there by Imladris, who again does the same thing, countercharges down the line, shock infantry first, and the pikes up to back them up. It's a really nice little strategy they've got going on there. Have got halberds on their flanks to Umbar to sort of protect those, but they look like they're taking a few casualties here to the shock infantry. Cav is still getting in behind though for Umbar as well, supported by pole arms. So I guess if it comes to an infantry fight, they can combat that. Noldorian Rangers here as well, also focusing on Haradrim auxiliaries. So they need to be careful of those horse archers for sure. And the flanks over here, we've got Blackhaven Guard clashing with the Noldorian swords again. Like I was saying, shock infantry does really well against spears. This will be a toughie here for the Elves of Linden. Had a lot of Elves recently, I just realised. We had an Elven coalition, and now we've got the Elves again battling against Umbar this time, instead of the Easterlings. We didn't have Linden in the previous one, and that was certainly a close-ass fight, was that previous Elven battle. If you haven't checked that one out, I'll leave a link for it. It certainly was a really, really close battle, one that, well, came down to the wire. Corsair Marines being thrown in here. These light infantry, well, they're medium infantry really, but they really should be light, looking at the state of their armor. They've got no chance against these Elves. They're going to get thinned out pretty quickly. Umbar is certainly a very good siege faction. We'll have to see how good it is in a land battle here. And whether it's really capable of taking on a superpower like the Elves. Because they are still, even though the Elves are on their way out in the Third Age, they're still a superpower, that's for sure. See here, they're really stacking. We've got Numenorean nobles, which we've not seen in ages, I feel like. These polearms, one of the last really elite polearms. Well, actually, I say that one of the last. There's plenty of them now, because the Founding Guard are now a polearm. I forget about that. Totally forget. General back here. I thought it was the general maybe for the Umbar player for a moment, but it's not. It's Elrond is just back there helping support that cav in their fight there. Yeah, the cav trying to get some charges onto the rear units here. Numenorean horsemen were losing, but they're getting support there. And the archers now also charging into polearms. This is not healthy for them. Don't want to get shish kebab, boys. Again, Numenorean swords here. Look like they've just got themselves shish kebabbed on these Blackhaven sentries here. The sentry's starting to cave a little bit here for the elves, but not entirely. And we have got Alfraz and Asgard actually sneaking on through. They did find a gap in the line. Really nicely done. And they're now in behind. What can they go for? Well, the elves are just going to get some flanking shots onto them. That's the only problem. They're going to need to send more units through to make this breach actually worthwhile. We have got the general here, the shipwright nobles engaged with the Alfraz and Asgard. They're going to retreat his Umbar. That's going to cost them this unit. That unit is now, yeah, pretty much butchered. Look at that. Should have just stayed in combat. Or just not gone for the push just yet. One or the other. I mean, he could have rear charged as well. But yeah, here we go. Cavalry into the back of the Alfraz and Asgard. And in they go. Not the greatest of charges, but it will be enough. Two golden armored units here clashing with each other. I'm going to rear charge these guards and ladders here. Not a bad idea with the general. So what they're going to do, they've just got to try and surround some Elven units. Break this front line down a little bit. It's still looking very even, I'd say, for both sides. Umbar is kind of... Well, the Elves have got no reserves. Umbar is drying up pretty quickly. They've almost committed everything they have as well. Looking like they've just helped route a few units on this side though, has Umbar, especially with its auxiliaries here. It's Haradrim auxiliaries. We've got a shipwright noble as well losing here as well. He's losing to Blackhaven marksmen. Maybe that he's losing really because of a cav charge or something, I'm not sure, but it seems unusual. These Blackhaven marksmen aren't that great in melee. Yeah, he's back to even now. Archer fire coming in, artillery fire coming in is doing damage to the Blackhaven marksmen more than it is the shipwright nobles. They can rout this Linden general though. That might help with morale. And here you go, yeah, big break in the center here. Look at this. That is a gap. That is a gap. And yeah, they're routing a few units now. And these Numenorean spears might also start a rout. If they break all this, there's even more units being freed up. The center is looking quite good for Umbar now. The flanks they're holding. They're tying down Elrond right now. But I imagine these horse archers are going to help reroute those. We've got Haradrim auxiliaries coming over here to help put out some Numenorean horsemen. Again, as soon as Umbar finds a way to break through, there's just cav waiting. This cavalry here is just, yeah, helping to ride down these Alfraz and Asgard. They're really elite swords, which they cannot really afford just to throw away. But it looks like, again, another persistent charge here from Umbar. He's helping to break these guards and ladders slowly. Thing is, the Elven units just fight to like the last man. It just takes forever to kill these guys. It really does. They should break through sooner or later. The archers as well also not looking great. The Elven numbers, what they down to? 1,700, 1,800 just about. Against 3,200. They can do it still, the Elves, definitely. Oh, good rear charge there, though, from the Umbar player on this flank here. As we have these Haradrim auxiliaries coming into the back, helping to rout. These Elven archers are trying to help rout them. They've got a really good charge in there. I mean, Cav excels against archers, and you can see this Numenorean shock actually pulling out of a combat to try and help rout these spears, just to try and help this fight. He's getting chased by Umbar general, it seems.
The enemy have rallied their units.
And the center's really not looking too great for the Elves still. But they are seeming to patch it up a little bit. The cav chargers seem to be like they're doing a lot of damage. Routing a couple of arch units here. And yeah, it seems like they've got Noldorian archers, even with ammo, having to be forced into combat. They're helping to help rout these guys as well. And now they can start focusing down this general if they want to at point blank range. A general has fallen though. I don't know whose general. Maybe this. That's not a general either, so I don't know whose general it is. Huh. I don't know. The shipwright nobles, they are holding on. It seems like this cav, these tiny little units of Noldorian horsemen, are making a huge difference right now. The rear charge they're getting are excellent. They're helping to rout already weary units of Umbar and dealing with a few stragglers as well, it seems like. They really need to get that auxiliary in there. Just tie it down. Yeah, just turned into pockets of fighting now. I mean, that's a pretty big pocket over on that side. It seems like the Elves probably will win that. But this side doesn't look so great for the Elves. And there's this general here that looks like he is about to die. Cav though still very much effective in it. Oh god, we missed. We're gonna miss it, I think. Gonna miss the charge just about. Yeah, just over there you can see. I mean, it was a Noldorian Ranger that went in. Get a little closer. Noldorian Ranger, they're running, and it does seem as though they're pretty decent in combat. Well, we know for a fact they were so good that they got nerfed to hell. So he's really good in combat, and also it fires bows. A rear charge onto spears. Don't know how wise an idea that was. The polearms probably will deal with them slowly, but surely. The Elves look like they are reclaiming the center slowly, but they are looking like they're going to lose this general fight here as well. The right also looks like it might be going in favor of the Elves. It's hard to say. They are just running into polearms right now. Not exactly the best use of their skills. We've got Elrond here. He's still pretty healthy as well. He's going to get a rear charge here in a moment from the cav. And they go. It wasn't really a charge at all. I think these guys are exhausted. We've got a Bulku Magan here, which is a really elite speed unit. Got some pretty good melee stats as well, actually. That's in there fighting away. The center again, still looking a little dicey. I mean, they just routed this this archer down here. It's then just general v general. I imagine that would go in favor of Umbar. Cav over here still influences the fight. Looks like it's going to rout that spear. Another spear unit has joined the fight. And they're trying to rear charge these Noldorian nobles, and they might kill some of them as they run for their lives. Still surrounding some units here. I mean, that bow cav could get some really, really good kills. It really could. And even Umbar Usurper still fighting on. Look at that, archers coming to the back. Look at the cost it takes just trying to rout one Elven unit. It's like 2 Umbar units minimum are needed to rout one. One Elven unit. And that's why it's a fair fight at about 10k to about 5k. It looks like that well, actually that Noldor Noble is still pretty healthy. Definitely looks like they're going to win this side though, is Umbar. Not so sure about the other side. And then the center is where it's going to be decided, I think. Umbar can kill their general here. So if Umbar can kill the shipwright noble general, they got a chance. These shipwright nobles, they're no easy unit to take out.
Our men run from the enemy. This is shameful.
But here come the reinforcements. Elrond is on the way with extra men, or extra elves. That cav unit is still alive as well. My gosh, that's probably going to rout that sword unit there. Yeah, they've had enough. They were sick and tired of fighting elves. And when the cavalry charged them, that was curtains. I think they're going to get a rear charge off here into archers. Yep, in they go. Oh, it's not a great sight to see if you're rooting for Umbar, that's for sure. Band's power is starting to shift in favor of the elves. There's about 500 men left on either side. Looks like the elves are now going to try and encircle what remains of these Umbarian units here. A general over there as well. He's still taking a few names with him. Look at that, routing that Numenorean spear. It's a win, I guess. But he is getting surrounded by both elves of Linden and Imladris.
Our general has fallen.
There you go. I think he has just died in that pocket down there. That is a shame to see. And that is going to affect morale a little bit. It's unfortunate that Umbar had to be the aggressor, but I guess they had the numbers that they should have been the aggressor, but it was always going to be tough for them going up against the elves. Yep, the elves are looking like they're going to mop this one up. They've just dealt with that general over there, and they are now all getting ready to shift this direction and deal with the remaining Umbarians. I mean, Elrond here is yet to be committed, and if you've seen Elrond's unit in previous battles, you know this guy is a tank. He is really, really nasty. I don't know what it is about him. He's just the normal guards of the teeth, but it seems like it's really tough to kill him compared to, like, other normal guards of the teeth units. Maybe it's just because he's, you know, he's Elrond. He's an absolute tank. There you go. He's routed that unit. He needs a good cav charge. Somebody needs to give Elrond a good cav charge and put him in his place. Spears over here are going to get routed as well by Numenorean Rangers. Army losses definitely come into effect as well. You can see Blackhaven marksmen. They're wavering, being attacked in the rear. Also probably not helped that they are being like surrounded. And they're not archers in combat. They're not that great. The Alfraz and Asgard here as well. Yeah, Cav getting into the back lines. You can see that there. That won't help the archers. And there you go. That's routing them. And I think we're going to start to see some army losses in a moment. Though this general is still standing. But he's starting to lose. It has come down to, well, 300, nearly 400 elves left. So, I mean, Umbar has done a good job, but it just wasn't quite enough. And I thought maybe, well, there you go. Both units are wavering. And I think that is going to be game. And there you go. The elves are going to win. A valiant defeat for Umbar there. That was a pretty tough one. That is for sure for Umbar. I mean, it was going to be hard with Linden and Imlad just like kind of boxing themselves in. But it certainly was a close one, that's for sure. This was sent in by Bulk, who was playing as one of the Umbar players. Got 116 kills with his general, 126 with the other Alfraz and Asgard. Yeah, Umbar Usurper's not doing much of a dent. I mean, there aren't going to be huge kills here for Umbar as they were fighting the Elves. 160 kills though for Adun and Corey is pretty good. And 120 for Corsair Archers, 150 here actually with another one. And the Cav getting 79 kills. Then we have Nuno Reves playing as another Umbar army, getting 100 kills here. 90 kills with his Alfraz and Asgard. His Adun and Corey getting 102. His Archers, yeah, getting focused down by the looks of it. And his Umbar Scorpion here getting 69 kills. Then we have Holy Banana playing as another Umbar army, funnily enough. His Blackhaven Marksman getting 81 kills. The best there is Polearms 120, 117 with the Alfraz and Asgar. His Cav, one of them getting 158 kills is very, very good. And that is really about it. And then we have famous Austrian playing as the final Umbar army. 221 kills with his general is not too bad at all. Alfraz and Asgar here getting 134 kills. And then he brought a lot of these spears. 65 is the best of the bunch. He got 88 kills with his Blackhaven sentries, not too bad. And his Blackhaven marksman getting 130 kills. Then we have Winter's Might playing as one of the Linden armies. 242 kills with his shipwright nobles. 122 with another one there. Of his Noldorian sword, sorry. And then his Noldorian nobles 86 kills. His Cav getting 238 kills. And his archers getting 117, the best of the bunch. Then we have the Warlord playing as one of the Imladris armies. 234 kills with Elrond is pretty damn nasty. He got 126 kills with another Guards of Imladris. Not like great, but nothing like too shabby either. 108 kills with the Noldorian swords here. 223 with another one. His Pikes getting 116 kills. Archers getting 266, 244. And his Cav getting 236 kills. So some good kills there at the end there for Imladris. Then we have Nature Games playing as another Linden army. 155 kills with his general. 169 with the Noldorian swords. Spears actually not doing too bad. 175, 270 here. 252 with another one. So yeah, some really good kills actually for the spears. Actually outscoring some of his shock and his swords. And then his polearms are getting 134 kills. And his archers getting 221. I think the best of the bunch. Then we have Theol playing, or Theo playing as the final Imladris, also bringing in Elrond. So we have two Elronds here today. 280 kills with his Elrond, 294 with his Guards of Imladris. His shock getting 247. His archers 217, 314, and his Noldorian Rangers getting 384 kills. Some very nice kills there for the Elves at the end. But there you go. Umbar was defeated just about, but it was a seriously close fight. It shows that Umbar definitely could go up against the Elves and give them a good challenge. I certainly think in a siege as well, if they were on attack as well, they definitely give the Elves a run for their money. But yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, do remember to leave a like, subscribe if you're new around here, and feel free to leave a comment and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on the next Dawnless Days battle. And I'll see you guys in the next one.